If you are a brand new creator, you're getting started on YouTube and you want to grow this thing out, this guy Sean Cannell he's done a lot of amazing things to train creators how to do that. And today he's going to share with you his top pro tips for you guys for getting started on growing your YouTube channel. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and welcome to Video Creators. This channel is all about helping you guys grow a YouTube audience so you can spread a message that reaches people and changes their lives. And Sean is really into changing people's lives. His life's been changed by YouTube. So I'm really going to learn more about you and what you do on YouTube.
Yeah, best place to find me is Think Media. A lot of tech tips over there as far as cameras, lighting, microphones, the tech side, even just smartphone accessories so you can create content. And then we've got an interview show with video influencers at Video Influencers on YouTube as well. So 2 channels, and they're sharing their best tips, kind of like this over there. We've got some great videos with you over there too that if you haven't seen those, definitely check those out on the Video Influencers channel.
We got links to all that down below. You can go check it out. And so when other people who are trying to grow their audiences and also trying to reach and impact other people with their content, what are your top tips for how they need to grow their channels?
Well, Tim, I think the landscape in this space is always changing. And as, if you will, competition rises, I still think there's massive opportunity for anybody to break through and make it on YouTube. But I think that the first tip that you should be thinking about is based on a quote from Sally Hogstead, and it's this: different is better than better. And if I was thinking, whether you're just starting or even maybe you're further along in your career but wanting to get to that next stage and kick in growth again, think about how you can really be different in the world that we're living in. It could be tempting to want to try to be better than Tim Schmoyer at teaching YouTube advice.
Don't try to do that.
Or better than Casey Neistat at vlogging and being cool and being on a boosted board in the middle of traffic in the city. But honestly, those people are all tapping into their unique strengths, their unique abilities. There's a book called The Blue Ocean Strategy. And it's all about that sometimes in industries like this, everyone starts doing the same thing, targeting the same people, and there's blood in the water. It's a red ocean because it's just all kind of the same thing. And they say, well, where success is almost guaranteed is that rather when you're in that red ocean of constant competition and targeting the same people, go to the blue ocean where nobody is.
Yeah.
And so that's not necessarily easy to discover, but as you find your difference and your unique angle, I think that's essential for breaking through and standing out on social media these days.
And it's a little scary because that part hasn't been proven yet. You don't know what's gonna happen over there. You don't even know if there's fish over there for you to eat or whatever. When I got started, I was imitating Philip DeFranco.
Sure.
And I used his style to kind of launch off and then make it my own.
But to say that, what you didn't do is you didn't start a news show. So if you would have started a news show.
I did, but it was about online video.
But it was about something different. It was different.
Yes.
Now, I think you also modeled the masters. Phil DeFranco is his show structure is one of the greatest show structures. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's bad I wouldn't want to say, don't pull elements. If you can learn filmmaking styles from Casey Neistat and pull that into your niche, if you can learn show structure from Phil DeFranco and pull that into your niche and topic, you should absolutely do that. Pablo Picasso was famous for saying, and Steve Jobs quoted him, saying that good artists copy, great artists steal. Steve Jobs said, at Apple, we've been shameless about looking for the best ideas, best strategies, best tips, best things people are doing and pulling those into what we're doing, but they still created something different. Yeah. The second thing I would recommend is our formula that we say for content, and it's this: consistent, strategic, quality content. I think to win on YouTube, say back in 2005 or 2010, I like to say if you were playing checkers, you could win. And checkers isn't a strategic game. There's a little bit of strategy there, but checkers is much different than chess. I think you can still win this year on YouTube, but if you're still playing checkers, just kind of doing the basics, just being consistent and trying to be good, it's not enough. I just think you have to level up the strategy at which you're approaching YouTube with. So it's not just consistent content, that's barrier to entry. Mm-hmm. It's not just quality content. You want to, and by that doesn't mean fancy or fancy lighting or whatever, just quality, adding value, right? Mm-hmm. But being strategic, and I think that goes into, maybe searching for long tail keywords, how you're titling your videos, being more nuanced in your approach. Whatever it is, I think that even studying strategy, thinking about strategy is so important. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, the new level that I see is story, and how do we engage people, and content optimization. How do we study those audience retention graphs in YouTube and learn exactly when people abandon and what keeps them watching and what are they skipping ahead to watch, what are they going back and rewatching, and getting the audience retention so you're getting like 50% of the people who click play are still watching when the end screens come up, and they're enticed to click another one and watch. Like that's what if people want to optimize for the algorithm, like that's what the algorithm loves, is those types of viewer signals. So that's much easier said than done.
Much easier said than done, but what you just said was strategy. That's nuanced detail. That's not just consistent quality content. You were thinking about, you're going into your analytics, you're taking it to another level, and this, you don't want to get overwhelmed by this. I think it's just always thinking about, how do we level up a little bit? The last thing I would say is that you do have to commit to keep putting in the work. You got to put in a lot of work, and the reason why is because there's a lot of people who are willing to put in a lot of work. And it's hard sometimes. I know, you want to rest, you want to take time off, and you should. You want to be healthy. I'm not talking about like harming yourself. Right. But just a commitment, because it's really easy to get discouraged and kind of like let your pace slow down. But people, they want this. It's a cool job. It's a cool thing to be doing. And so maybe you're feeling a little discouraged right now. Maybe you're feeling like the wind is out of your sails. Take some rest, maybe get some energy again, but always just keep committing to doing the work and being patient in the process, because the work you put in, it's not going to pay off in 1 or 2 weeks. Maybe not even 1 or 2 years. We did an interview with Barnacules Nerdgasm. He's got a kind of a cool tech channel. And he even mentioned that it was such a grind for him. It took him about, I think, 6 years to get to about 60,000 subscribers, which is great. But in year 7, he grew to 600,000 or 700,000 subscribers.
I figured it out and unlocked it.
It was this tipping point. But he was working that entire time. And so hopefully, if you're feeling down right now, just be reminded to maybe recapture the long-term vision of where you want to go and tap into some new energy in the short term to just be consistent, pace yourself, and just one by one, little by little, keep doing the work.
Yeah. The way I think about this, guys, is the mission that you have worth the work it's going to take to get there? Is the thing that you're trying to accomplish worth it? And for the people who quit, the answer is no. It's not worth the work. Yeah. But for people who, like Sean and I, like my passion, as you guys heard and from Sean, is that like we just love helping people, like we love impacting people and helping them change lives. And that to me, like if it's one person or 1 million people, it doesn't really matter that much, because that's like the passion, that's the drive that keeps us going. So you don't need to have that same mission, but whatever it is it worth the work it's going to take to get you there? And hopefully your answer is yes.
I started to discover, that, people are making money online. People are doing this YouTube thing. It's very early, but they're building a life on their own terms. I do think that those who really last and make it have deeper reasons.
Yeah.